Oh, hey, cute guy. Oh, yeah? You're being cute? You being the number one cute guy? Yes, you are. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. I love you so much. So FSPD did something that they're going to try to hide. So I'll show you something. See these hackers and the wiretapping. Okay, so let's talk about FSPD today. All right, great. So I sent them a bunch of incriminating evidence against them and their friends, their fucking gacked out meth head informants that use my social security card number to commit fraud with, right? They're stalking me in my home the other day. I recorded that too, and the FBI jammed my live. Whenever the last two times they've stalked my home, the FBI has jammed my live video when they pulled up to my apartment. And I got it all on camera. Yeah, you got to record around these motherfuckers, bro. They're fucked up. Anyways, so I sent this to the FSPD, right? Now, talking about, like, I showed them this guy who's posted my mom's social security card number, the fake doxing file, how, how I was talking about how them and their local informants use my stolen identity, how the Sebastian County Courthouse let a bunch of people that I've never met lie about being related to me in court behind my back without my knowledge or consent. They actually blocked me and unblocked me for this, by the way. Yeah. You see this right here? This is the FSPD tagged in this. They've been tagged in this post of the FBI planting evidence since November 6, 2025. Whenever you tag somebody and they're tagged in it, it'll show up as blue. And if they block you, it'll turn black. Okay, so anyways, they block me and unblock me. I'm gonna tell you what they work with hackers and shit. They spy on people illegally a lot, right? The cops here. So this morning, when I everything that I messaged the FSPD about last night and the evidence that I sent them, they blocked me for that, right? And then I was sending an email to the FSPD and like the local courts and even military bases, like, hey, this is illegal. You can't block me because I sent you incriminating evidence against your friends. They were watching, these guys, they work with hackers and they spy on people a lot, and they have a lot of people's shit hacked. And so, like, whenever I was making that email about, like, hey, you can't block me because your friends got caught doing something illegal, they were watching me doing my drafting process on Gmail, and they're like, oh, fuck, well, we better unblock him so we don't look suspicious. But yeah, no, they definitely blocked me because whenever you tag somebody, like government agencies and law enforcement does this a lot. If I record crimes being committed and I tag them in it, they'll block me for it, and then the tag will show up black, right? So, anyways. I'll show you something. I've recorded these cops I've recorded these guys doing a lot of illegal shit. We'll go over a few more topics too. So let's talk about this police. And usually it's the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department that I record trying to intimidate me. They got okay. They got like okay. Like the FSPD's like got a lot of dirty, fucked up cops. They got child killers over there too. They got a few decent cops. Now the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department, those pigs are pure fucking evil. They're all child killers. They're all fucking chomos and shit. These motherfuckers in Fort Smith and the River Valley, they're friends with the Clintons, the local judges here and the local cops here. They're they've met Bill Clinton personally. These authorities happen to be friends with the Clintons, and that's why they're under the impression that they can do whatever they want. I'm gonna tell you some. We're gonna talk about police harassment, the FSPD, the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department. So this is from 10 months ago, right? And this is a police intimidation attempt. I was recording these Mexican human trafficking police informants and these gacked out child murdering meth heads enacting illegal entrapment tactics and trying to plant evidence at like 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And that's what they were doing, and I knew that's what they were doing. So I recorded it, right? Anyways, it pissed the FSPD off, and they came to my apartment they posted up at the end of the street like 7 cop cars, right? Yeah, so like what they did this night was like, it's just it's just like an intimidation attempt, right? So I was recording their informants enacting these impersonation entrapment tactics and planting evidence, right? They're gacked out child murdering, human trafficking, meth head informants, and they were doing this at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And it was that was a stressful fucking night, by the way. Holy shit, bro. That was an awful fucking night. And then I got woken up with the police stalking my home first thing in the morning the next day and shit, right? And like I only got like fucking like 3 hours of sleep that morning. But so anyways, that night I'm recording these informants enacting these illegal entrapment tactics and planting evidence and shit like that. And the FSPD got pissed off that I was smart enough to record it. So like 7 cop cars posted up at Kingston Courts at the end of the street, and they all took turns like driving down the street, you know, like revving their engines up, peeling out, shining spotlights in my front room window, shit like that, right? An intimidation attempt. They were mad that I recorded their informants lying about me in the middle of the night. Anyways, they did that at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, let's talk about. And I've been recording cops trying to intimidate me like that for years. The moderator, that's a police intimidation video, but the moderators have covered up a lot of those types of videos throughout the years. Like I'll tell y'all some stories about these motherfuckers. Corruption of the highest level, absolutely. The U.S. Supreme Court has given us a deadline. Yeah, you see how these federal agents play along and help, and fuck you. Yeah, they want me to go along with this shit. Yeah, so these people are on a deadline. These are like federal agents, judges, cops, and shit who are helping human traffickers launder money with my stolen identity. But they're running a big fucking scam. They are the criminals. They're trying to pretend like they're doing police work. So they're trying to fabricate all of this evidence and try to make it look like they're the ones who are innocent and not guilty, and like, oh, I'm the bad guy. It's like, well, it's fucking stupid, bro. They're con artists, right? They conned the government, is what these cops, these federal agents, these judges, these informants, what they all did was they conned the government out of a lot of fucking money, and they've been committing a lot of crimes of government protection that they don't fucking deserve. But these guys said this years ago, demonic police harassment. That was from 2024. They're talking about the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department. If someone said this like a month ago, these corrupt cops deserve to be ashamed. They're fucking predators, dude. They work with human traffickers. They have child killers and fucking child molesters and child sex traffickers in their police departments. They know about it. The ones who haven't murdered a kid know the other ones have murdered kids and molested kids. They won't speak up about it. They harass innocent people. They go around framing people with fucking meth head informants and fucking federal agents to try to get them under government watch lists so they can get paid, they can get government funding to watch people. It destroys an innocent person's life every time they do it. They've framed many people, and people have went to prison for something they framed them for, and they get brutally murdered in prison. And then the cops and the judges here will celebrate it and shit. These are some fucking evil fucking pigs, bro. But yeah, and they've been doing this for like 20 fucking years. It's like a fucking congregation of very sick fucking authorities. But yeah, I'll tell you some stories about this. So like, I've been recording on my videos like this for 3 years, right? And like, okay, like I went through the illegal entrapment sting in April 2021, okay, and some dirty cops and some CIA agents got caught trying to frame me. Right before they got caught trying to frame me, a local money laundering judge named Sarah at the Sebastian County Courthouse took a life insurance policy out on me. I was only 24 years old. They were going to kill me for money. After I blew their cover and rendered their charges as entrapment to cover this up, Sarah put a gag order on me. She put a gag order on me to cover up identity theft, human trafficking, murders, things like this, right? This courthouse here, they're like evil and they're criminals, and they like abuse their status as like judges to like cover up crimes. Like if they get caught doing something illegal to you, bam, you're getting a fucking gag order placed on you. Bam, if somebody else gets caught doing some more illegal shit to you, they'll sign a non-disclosure agreement to cover up a criminal offense. Things like this, right? And they've been doing this for a long. That's like their system here. And here's like Mike Burcham. No one is forging your name for financial gain. Your device is most likely need up. So like, okay, like I recorded Mike Burcham from the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office lying about these criminal offenses and identity theft so much that they actually took down their message board because it's illegal for cops to lie. The fraud department at First National Bank already confirmed that this was an illegal wiretapping and a hacker issue back in 2024. Even after they confirmed it was hackers and illegal wiretapping, this cop would adamantly deny it every fucking time. And they did it a lot, right? And this is one of my Facebook accounts that got hacked. I didn't do that. I recorded that whenever it happened. But that's another story. Anyways, I'll tell you some stories about after the entrapment sting. So, like, okay, like, there's cops here who were there's cops here who were body doubles for some of the CIA agents that are now dead, right? Anyways, like one time after the entrapment sting, these locals started doing their public smear campaign and shit like that, and like fucking like I was being harassed by cops and shit, and I tried calling up one of the cops about it. I called up Mike Burcham. I was like, hey, I want to talk to Mike Burcham about this, right? Well, anyways, the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department ends up pulling up right after like I'm like adamantly like I want to talk to Mike Burcham. I want to talk to Mike Burcham, right? Well, it wasn't Mike Burcham. Is actually Mike Burcham is actually was a double for a CIA agent. Yeah, these CIA agents, they'd come hang out in Fort Smith and the River Valley and shit. And there was cops here who were body doubles for them. And whenever they'd come to the Fort Smith and River Valley, they'd pose as their doubles and like pretend to be cops and shit. So, anyways, the CIA agent that Mike Burcham was a body double for ended up coming up and talking to me, right? But like I was talking about the entrapment sting, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like y'all got caught doing something really illegal to me. I'm being harassed by informants and shit. Fucking hackers are harassing me and crashing my fucking devices. This was back in 2021, right? You know what the CIA agent told me? He said, "Oh man, that's real terrible." Anyways, I'm gonna tell you something, Travis. And he pointed up at the sky, and he went like this right here, and he said, "Nothing gets in, nothing gets out." Right? And that's all true, okay? Then after the entrapment sting, the locals started doing their public smear campaign. They started using my stolen identity. I was getting harassed by hackers and cops all of the time and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This is fucked up, right? And I'm working at Sonic on Zero Street, and a cop told me this. You know what a cop told me? Told me, hey, I was working at Sonic on Zero Street. They use like fucked up, sick metaphors and analogies and shit, right? But they're like, hey, Plankton from the Chum Bucket committed suicide because he forgot to put his leash on. A cop told me that. I was working at Sonic on Zero Street. It's like a metaphor. After they got caught planting evidence and shit, and they would, they were pissed off at me. And a cop told me that. They're like, hey, Plankton from the Chum Bucket committed suicide because he forgot to put his leash on. A cop told me that. Oh yeah, these people are. Anytime these people get caught using my stolen identity, they try to convince people that we're friends or family, and we all hate each other. They are dangerous and delusional, absolutely. Anyways, and I'll tell you some like more stories. So like I started doing these 24-hour a day live recordings on Facebook Live because the locals here, they're doing like a smear campaign. These people were making false accusations about me and shit, right? And I was reading it, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? None of that's true. You guys are fucking slandering me, right? And they are. There's people who witness these people lying about me. People in the military, by the way. Anyways, you know what the locals in their response to me, I was like, hey, y'all are fucking slandering me, bro. None of that's true, right? And you know what the locals of Fort Smith said? Well, who's gonna believe you, Travis? It's all of our stories versus yours. Ha, yay! We're so evil. Go Fort Smith. They actually said that to me. Who's gonna believe you? It's all of our stories versus yours. Then I recorded these people for 3 years, and they've made thousands of fucking false witness statements and thousands of false accusations on camera. But let's talk about demonic police harassment. I'll tell you some of the shit that the FSPD and the Sebastian County Courthouse used to do, right? Hold up. Let me find the screenshots real quick. Oh yeah, you see how all of these Mexicans use my identity? Anytime they get caught, they're trying to convince people that I'm Mexican now. It's stupid. But let's talk about demonic police harassment. So after I moved, fucking fucked up shit happened. These guys made me homeless. I got arrested for some shit that the other party should have got arrested for it. Some informants were breaking into my apartment at 4801 South 31st Street, and they're like child killers, and they're all using my social security card number. And anytime I'd go to work, they were breaking into my apartment and stealing my shit. And I would confront. And they're like sadistic fucking meth freaks and shit, right? And I confronted them for it, and I got jumped by them. They assaulted me first. I got jumped, right? And the FSPD took me to jail for it. And then whenever the FSPD took me to jail for it, the fucking child murdering pigs of the Sebastian County Sheriff's Department stole my money and my ID, and I was homeless because of it. And the people of Fort Smith would make fun of me while I was homeless. I had to work like overtime and 2 jobs at a time just to get a place again, right? And the people here were making fun of me and talking shit about how I was homeless, but I wouldn't have been homeless if these pigs wouldn't have stolen my fucking ID and my money. They stole like $400 or $500 from me. That was my rent money, and they stole my ID. I was stranded, right? And anyways, So around that time, then I started living at the Magnolia Inn, and there's these child murdering fucking cops from the FSPD and the fucking Sebastian County Sheriff's Department. I'd record them trying to intimidate me and stalking me nonstop all of the time for fucking years. It's demonic, right? But if I wasn't recording 24 hours a day like I am now, they would have got away with like planting evidence and framing me again if I wasn't fucking recording, right? And some of these FSPD cops and Sebastian County Sheriff's Department cops, what they were doing is they would like hang outside of my fucking motel room at the Magnolia Inn. I worked at Burger King and Taco Mayo at this time. And they'd like wait outside of my motel room in the middle of the night planting evidence and shit. And then like I'd wake up in the morning and I'd like go to work and shit. And the cops that were stalking me and planting evidence and shit, they'd like come out of an alleyway or like come out of a parking lot down the street, and they'd drive by me and they'd roll down their window and look at me with these psychotic, crazed, and evil smiles, and they like peel out and drive off. I used to record shit like this all the time. They would have got away with planting evidence again if I wasn't recording all the time back then. That's why, because like I even record whenever I'm sleeping. They'd do it whenever I was sleeping, but I was like at this time, like I record myself sleeping every night. So I'd record myself sleeping. I wake up on camera. I get ready for work on camera. I go to work on camera. Right? And if I wasn't recording like that, they would have got away with planting evidence, but they'd stalk my motel room and they'd like wait for me and shit like that. And they'd plant evidence, and then whenever I'd wake up and go to work in the morning, they'd come out of whatever dark corner they are lurking in, and they'd drive by me, roll down their window, flash this evil psychotic smile at me, and speed off and shit. And they've been doing this for fucking years. These corrupt cops, they're homegrown terrorists. But anyways, we're talking about the criminality of local law enforcement. This video started with the FSPD blocking me, and then watching me they're watching my email drafts and me talking about it, and then they unblocked me real quick to try to not make themselves look any more suspicious than they already do. So I figured I'd point that out. That's worth pointing out. Yeah, these are homegrown terrorists, by the way. They're like homegrown domestic fucking terrorists is what they are. News, February 10th, 2026. Now I gotta verify the time and date of this video because these guys will lie. Oh, shit. Yeah, these federal agents, even the cops would try to do it too. They like these are some fucking criminals, bro. It's like basically like if like they're the type of criminal type of cops and federal agents and judges be like, well, like say like if these people, if I record a video of these people lying about me, and if I didn't verify the time and date, these cops, judges, and federal agents would be like, well, we don't know exactly what time that video was recorded. There's no telling. So like you have to fucking like verify the time and date of these videos. They're like criminals, bro. Yeah, this is like purely criminal shit. Police corruption at its absolute highest level. Anyways, as you can see, it's February 10th, 2026. Right. You see this dude right here? The fat dude? He's with a black chick that keeps writing hot chicks in my fucking name. Yeah, that's like the local cops. That's something all of these informants do. Like if they're like need money or something, they're like using my stolen identity. Like, oh, I'm broke. I'm gonna go write a hot check in Travis's name, or I'm gonna go take out a credit card in his name, and the cops won't arrest him for it. It's fucking bullshit, bro. They're always doing shit like.